Hello friends. Okay, so I have to admit, I'm slightly embarrassed to make this video because a couple reasons. This is not the first time I've made a video like this. And it is going to not only show my wish-washiness, but it's also going to show my disobedience. And this is a video that I could go without making. But I do feel an obligation to you, and also I feel the honor of asking for your prayer. So I've made this video several times where I've said, okay, I've started this blog and I'm going just to use it. We're not going to do Facebook, but I'm going to kind of use Facebook a little bit, and then I've sort of petered back into using Facebook a lot, and because I want so badly to get a message out. But I've had a real conviction that in my life, while I do believe that God has used me as a great inspiration, He's shifting my desires. I'm tired of just being an inspiration. I want to be a disciple maker. I want to be someone who inspires you to go deep into the Word. And because of that, I believe that Facebook is actually getting in the way. Now, I'm not making some big Facebook exit personally for things like pictures and Chronicles of Clarence. For those of you who follow my cat's page, I know that's silly. I'm going to keep those things up at leisure with no expectation of myself, but just personal and fun. But I'm going to be pulling my entire business and my blog off of Facebook and moving that solely onto the Patreon site. That means that here, A Heart Refined will no longer be active. There could be someday that returns, but I'm not leaving that open for me to use. I'm just saying I don't know how the Lord is moving. He's faithful, and I don't know quite where He's leading me right now, but He is telling me that it's time to move in this direction away. I've gone through a great disruption in my recent world, where of course my husband has left for deployment, but also at the same time my daughter moved out of my house, and that was hard. And I've gone through great turmoil. I've gone back into depression. The Lord has shown me, though, that because I know His name, I no longer have permission or authority even to live in that depressive state. It is my responsibility as His daughter to lift my head, lift my eyes into the hills where my help comes from. And as my body, my flesh, day by day, outwardly I'm wasting away, inwardly, I do have the honor and responsibility to grow in Him. Part of that is I've heard Him for a long time encouraging me to write a book. And so going back to that statement about being an inspiration as opposed to a disciple maker, I believe I'm splitting my hairs. I believe that I'm taking my time, using all of my time and my energy to take care of Facebook. And that's not my responsibility. So I've already begun writing. I'm in the process. But I am going to go ahead and put my full interest in that and take care of my business off of Facebook, that I'm not tempted to scroll in weird times or inappropriate times. I believe the Lord has called me into a duty to study His Word, because the book that I'm writing is going to be largely based on my testimony, but even more importantly, it's going to be dedicated to the context of God's Word, and it is going to be a true Bible study, not just Rachel's story, because I'm going to tell you what, Rachel's story, it's not enough. It's good. It's sensational. It's crazy. It's amazing, the transformation that God has done, and I want to give Him all the glory for that, but it's not good enough. And so as I go deeper, I want to share His Word. You know, the past several years have been crazy. I started this business and out of this transformation, and some of it is stuck, some of it hasn't. I got involved with several different people. Then I moved into working with Holistic Collaborative, and what a fantastic experience that was. As I had an office out of the clinic, I met a lot of amazing people, and in that time I was asked to do a radio show. And that was so exciting, and God shut those both down. He shut those doors. Then I moved into podcasting, and that kind of worked, and it didn't work. And then I moved back into blogging, and then I'm sort of moving around. And the Lord is allowing me to hit these dead ends. He's allowing me to go I'm learning a lot of great things, but he's allowing me to hit dead ends. And this reminds me of in Acts 16, and I've talked about this before, when the radio thing fell through. That hurt. That was hard. And someone brought to my attention Acts 16, where Paul was traveling, and they were going to go into the region of Phrygia. I'm not even saying that right, and Galatia. And then they tried to go into Bithynia. And it says, but the Spirit of Jesus did not allow them to go. And so they went on, and one night Paul had a vision in which a Macedonian man came and said, please come to us in Macedonia. And after he had seen the vision, they immediately made efforts to set out for Macedonia. That means they obeyed immediately because God gave them this vision. Well, God's been giving me this vision for a long time, and I cannot say that I gave him my immediately. However, now, as he has brought me into this place of solitude, this is hard. And he's asking me to go further into solitude. And I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't want to do the work, but I want to serve my God. So that is far more important than my desire. And since his pull, his draw is so much more important, I'm going. So if you desire to follow the blog portion, it will still be going through Patreon as it already is. But I will not be posting it on Facebook. So all you have to do, the link will be posted both in the top post and the bottom comments, so that you'll have access to that. You only have to go in, and you don't have to pay any money for that. If you'd like to follow me in my services, for paid services as a nutrition specialist and a personal trainer, a holistic coach, then please let me know. But otherwise, the blog is just going to go through the free part. You can tap on the 3 little dots there in the top corner and just hit follow. And for no charge whatsoever, you'll be getting those notifications if you download the Patreon app, or they'll come through your email. So it's that easy. And so I hope you do. But if not, and even if, whichever way you go, I ask that you pray for me. And I tell you quite often, I stop and pray for every woman that subscribes to any of my services. And a lot of you on this larger blog, I can't pray for you by name, but some of you I do, as your names come up. But I do pray for you as a whole. And I'm telling you that the Lord has blessed me greatly in relationship with many women through this. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding this roller coaster. All that I've been allowed to go through, and all that I've just used you as a therapy session for. Thank you. I am so grateful. There's this one point in my weight loss journey, and I could take you to the place on the sidewalk where I was walking. For those of you in Spring Hill, Commonwealth, in between Dewey and Longview, Rec Center, Elementary, all that kind of stuff. I was on that stretch, and I realized how I had been going in one direction, such a horrible direction of disobedience. And then the Lord called me by name, and I did eventually turn around and walk in the other direction, and I have not turned back since. I believe this scenario is exactly the same. So here I go. God bless you, beautiful sisters. And I pray that if the Lord is calling you into a season of separation, of solitude, that you go there. He's asked us to be alone with him. Facebook is it's a neat thing if used properly, but it can also be very destructive. I'm not stomping off of Facebook and saying, I'm never coming back. Yeah, like I say, y'all are still going to get the stuff from me on the personal side. But I'm definitely moving my spiritual self into a quiet place so that he can be heard, not me be known, but his glory through my life can be. All right, friends. I don't know what, I feel like there's something else I need to say, but the Patreon link will be there. If you have any questions, I'll still be here and I can answer the questions. If you have any needs, reach out to me privately. And if you have any prayer requests, please reach out. I'd love to pray for you by name. God bless you, friends. Bye.